Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. The bench is graced by the ladies and the gentlemen discussing tourism sector players and the minister herself here ahead of Jamhuri Day celebrations themed around tourism. And Waziri is with us also in her company, the lady and the two gentlemen. Many thanks for your time and appreciate it. What a time to have this discussion. Fred, Waziri, and ideally there's a target to hit 5.5 million tourists by 2027. But as a sector player, is there the commensurate infrastructure to absorb this, given the pressure that comes with in terms of the hospitality required to as well welcome them to Kenya?
Thank you very much for the question. The issue of the numbers of 5 million tourists, by and large in terms of the infrastructure, hotels, operators, we have that already in the country. If you spread the tourism across the entire year, that number is achievable. What we've requested, and I'm glad that the CS has put her foot down and helped us with the Ministry of Transport, we need capacity in terms of the air space to bring the tourists into the country to get the number that we are looking for. Remember, Kenya is a long-haul destination, and our biggest challenge is that you need enough capacity on those airlines to actually come into Kenya. Now, we at some point were relying mostly on KQ to bring a number of tourists in the destination. KQ has a problem right now because they don't have enough equipment, and their explanation has been that there's no spares for some of the aircraft, which are now down.
Affecting their fleet.
Their fleet. But if you look at what has happened, we have a couple of airlines that have been now licensed to actually do Mombasa direct, do Nairobi direct. I think we only lost one airline, which is Malaysian Air, which came in, but I think is closing in November.
Air Asia. Yeah.
Air Asia. That one is going away. So if I look at what has been done from 2024, 2025, I believe that we sit in a very good place to grow our tourism numbers from what we have last year, at least by 35%. And if Waziri can have this done gradually, if we do the first numbers of up to 35%, we'll be closer to that number we are looking for. So 2026, 2027, we'll be ready for that number. So we're going to have more push again to the ministry to keep on the issue of flights. Number two, we are going back to ask, while we talk for tourism international, there's a lot of tourism regionally. We need to discuss the issue of cutting the cost of regional flights to enable us to have more numbers within the region. Remember, Kenya has the best beaches that serves Uganda, Congo, and that's an arrested market. They're not going anywhere. They're coming to Kenya. If you look at Mombasa, the beaches, the weddings, the parties that are being done from Uganda, that's a good number, and they're spending. If you look at Nigeria, it's a very good market for Kenya. They are coming, they are spending. Now, like the golfing part, they are golfing a lot in Mombasa. Now, that's a market that I think KTB has just started the other day. They need to go back to that market again and push it. So that when we look at the numbers from the long-haul destination, which is Europe, North America, South America, we now have a new market which is in Asia, Philippines, Indonesia, Hong Kong. Those markets have opened up, and they're all coming here. So we need to drum the support that we need these flights allowed to get here so that we got the number that we're looking for. Flight frequencies. If flights like Qatar are doing only 2 or 3 frequencies, can we add them one more? And we'll be bringing that to the CS so that we tell them, these flights have got a wider reach. We need them to come here to grow your numbers.
Which then requires policy intervention.
It's a policy intervention. That's why I told you that the partnerships we have must start from the ministry, the tourism marketing wing, and the private sector.
And June, then if we are to talk about that number, certainly you have to think about product development, is it, to further then imbue in the thinking and also what the tourists see, and how ideal are you going to be tapping on that benefit?
Correct. First of all, when we define tourism numbers and peg it at 5.5 million, I think we are missing a point. Tourist numbers in Kenya stands at 9 million. It's just that we segment it into local and international arrivals. Right, so we are growing international arrivals to 5.5 million from 2.4 currently, and we are growing domestic from the current 5.4 to we are targeting about 10 million. So that when we see numbers thrown, we have that context. So the Africa strategy is one that we have pushed. Again, policy around aviation is one thing that our cabinet secretary has been engaging in with the transport to ensure that we open up the continent and make it easy and affordable to travel within Africa. That is 1.3 billion Africans that can easily visit each other. So that brings sustainability within the continent. But beyond that, what is this other product that we are looking at? We are diversifying our offering from our traditional bush, which is basically safari and beach, to now hidden gems. And you've seen the investment in MICE, which is the meetings, conference, conventions. The government has put in a huge investment to revamp KICC and now Bomas of Kenya. We've seen a lot of investment in Naivasha by the private sector to just grow the meetings offering. And the counties are coming out strongly to unveil the hidden gems. And you'll be seeing in our new campaign how we are unveiling those hidden gems so that we not only showcase our bread and butter, which is beach and bush, but we also go beyond that and show the diversity, the people, the culture. That's why we are supporting many cultural festivals like Tobol Noreng and the rest.
Yeah, and Loyangalani as well.
Loyangalani,
yeah, as
yes.
well. Yeah, okay, and talking about Waziri, I'll come to you also on that, the Bomas Convention Center, which is still under construction. But Mike, the welfare part is very important, is it, of the hoteliers? Is it up to the premiums as required for them to have the comfort of serving the guests who are visiting Kenya? I mean, they are the first point of contact, isn't it? Yeah. And therefore, their welfare should be of utmost priority.
Yeah. Let me just weigh in slightly on the issue of the numbers. Yeah. Tourism numbers should be measured against the population. So we have a population of about 60 million. We are discussing 5 million. It's less than 1%. If you want to really look at a measure, go to a place like France, where they're doing almost twice the number of tourists against the population.
Which is the most visited, is it Paris?
Yeah, which is the most visited. Destinations like Spain. South Africa ratio is about 2 into the population, and so is Egypt.
And I hope you'll tell us who is visiting.
Yeah, yes.
South Africa.
So,
especially the city of love.
So it's important. When you look at Europe, there's a lot of cross Europe visits, mainly because of the Schengen region and the lack of visas. If you look at East Africa now, from the time we kicked in the movement by ID and the single tourist visa for Kenya, Uganda, and Rwanda, numbers went up. Chairman forgot to mention that Rwanda is back to Mombasa from yesterday. So we are seeing a lot of good policy decisions by the government that are going to be enablers for now and for the future. Coming to your issue of welfare, it's very, very important. And as an association, first of all, in our industry, 40% of the revenues goes to payroll and related. It's the highest number in any sector. Banks can operate at about 7% or even lower because of automation and internet banking and everything. Manufacturing can operate at, say, 20% because of automation and so on and so forth. So for us, the staff are extremely important. So the staff welfare is key. In fact, we have a specific chapter on staff welfare in our code of ethics, which I can share with you at a certain time. The other important part of that conversation is that 80% of our employees are youth. So what does that tell you? That we are the ones, tourism is a key driver of youth employment in Kenya. When people are automating and we are talking about losing jobs and concentrating jobs in AI and the ICT sector, we are speaking about that cup of tea that must be brought by that young lady or young man who is smiling at you and asking you, how was your day? So we are very key. So we look after staff welfare. We have very good relations with the unions. We negotiate bargain agreements every 2 years. Now we've shifted it to 4. And what people see in a collective bargain agreement, they only see the salary clause. They do not see the other 53 clauses that have to do with the welfare of the staff. So it's very, very key to us.
And Ms. Waziri, on policy, she pointed out a very pertinent point. What's coming up at Bomas? What are we looking at in terms of capacity, and how much will it further enhance our position as a destination?
Let me put it to perspective. When it comes to meetings and conferences, Kenya is ranking at number 4 in Africa. And it is true that Kenya has a lot more potential. If you look at our iconic conference center, that is KICC, the maximum capacity we have is 2,000, which is quite limiting. We have seen destinations that have capacities of 10,000 and more. And therefore, Bomas of Kenya will be a great addition to that segment. It will be an ultra-modern conference facility with a capacity of about 11,000, which means we are multiplying our capacity 5 times. And that will actually position Kenya as one of the best and biggest destinations for meetings, for conferences, and all that. We also know that travelers who go for conferences and business spend a lot more than other groups of travelers. And therefore, if we are able to package our products to have business and leisure, this will really position our country as a top destination for the meetings. And this will contribute very strongly to the targets that we are setting. It will contribute to employment, economic transformation, and therefore we are really, really excited that Kenya will have probably the best or among the best conferencing facilities in the next couple of months, maybe less than 6 to 7 months to come. And that will really position us very strategically in growing tourism.
Yeah. Before I come to Fred, still on you, Waziri.
Yes.
2 points and pointers I want you to speak to. What is then the policy attitude towards, one, the United Nations coming to Nairobi and what it means for generally the tourism sector? And then second, the continent will be here because of AFCON 2027. You have seen Talanta and sports. Tourism has been great contributory in terms of how athletes have projected this country at the international level. How do you intend to tap on these very 2 opportunities by your doorstep?
Thank you. Currently, Kenya has the biggest UN offices in the southern part of the world. And that is very, very significant. The fact that that is increasing and doubling and opening more offices in Nairobi for the UN, that means that we will increase our businesses, not only in tourism, but also in real estate, in terms of hotel uptake, in terms of tourism products. And we know that that will contribute very significantly to the numbers we are looking at. When the staff come, the UN staff are brought to Nairobi, we believe that they will be inviting their families to come to Nairobi, their friends, and therefore we must strategically position our country for that growth. We require meticulous planning, because those kind of tourists really look for value for their money, affordability, good products, and therefore as we are here, both the private and the public sector, we must ensure that we make Kenya a premier destination to even welcome such an honor for the country that is coming very soon based on the UN.
Yeah.
If you come then to sports, and sports tourism is contributing about, according to the UN tourism data, is contributing about 10% of all the tourism in the world, and it is slated to grow to 17% contribution to the tourism sector. Kenya is not left behind. If you recall what happened earlier this year, the CHAN that was hosted in the East Africa, it really demonstrated that Kenya is mature to hold such significant sports events. And as we look at AFCON that will be held in 2027, I can say that there is preparedness on the side of the country. If you look at Talanta, which is a world-class facility that is nearing completion, and other stadiums and other sports facilities that are being built across all the counties and all the countries and all the places in this country, you can see what will happen. We will have many travelers from the region, from across the world. CHAN was a teaser, and we saw what Kenya can do. We passed the test. We really look forward to partnering with other ministries, with the private sector, with the players, to really take advantage of that. And it's not only football. Look at what is happening in athletics. I don't think there is any marathon that happens in the world if Kenya is absent to sweep the gold and other medals. We must continue positioning Kenya strongly in that regard. Golf is coming up, basketball, and many others. Okay. And therefore, from a policy perspective, and we have seen even the activities and the policy pronouncements by His Excellency the President, Dr. William Ruto, we must then position Kenya as a very strong destination for sports. And you have seen even the incentives we got during CHAN and other sports and the gold medalist. It also gives an opportunity for our young people across the country. If they really want to uptake their talent in sports, there is space.
Thank you. Fred, in terms of then diversification, looking at, of course, the projections, the policy that you talked about, and the structures or institutions that are coming up to further strengthen our position as a tourism hub, how then will diversification contribute to that? And what's the place of young Kenyans, as he talked about, a majority in his sector, to drive this growth in terms of messaging and also showcasing Kenya by their own, of course, understanding and ways that they do on digital platforms?
I think if you look at the country, the landscape at all, the young people of this country has marketed the country quite well. There's a phenomenon that has come up called road trips. Yeah. Road trips are being done by young people.
Carpooling.
Yes. And what they are doing, they are actually adventuring into untapped areas in the country. Like, if you sit in my office, you may not even know that there's a zip line somewhere in this country. Social media will show you that our young people can actually go there and find it. If you sit in Nairobi, you might know that we have some hot spring pools in this countryside. The young people, they do that. So they've worked very well by actually showing the country what we have by doing this thing called road trips. We have this Chama travel, which is done by ladies. Now, when they do Chama travel, because of the social media that we are having, they are actually projecting new destinations that people don't actually go to. Now, through KTB and Tembea Kenya program, they need to tap into those products that people are showing that are not in the mainstream product that we are selling. Because excursions is the easiest way to sell a country. Now, when you talk about the UN people coming into Kenya and adding more people in, when people already are in your country, what do you sell for them? You don't now sell full safaris, you sell excursions, you sell weekend getaways. That's how you actually diversify the product. You show them things that are not the normal things that are somebody planning for 20 days from the US to come to Kenya will be dealing with. Hiking is a very important thing. Our country now has this phenomenon from the gyms whereby every weekend, guys are going somewhere to hike. That opens the country for new product. So we as the industry in tourism, what we are looking at, we are studying from the same young people in our country, what they are showcasing, and we are using that now as excursion products. Look at Limuru, coffee farms. How did you get to know about Limuru coffee farms? It's about from the young people. They go there, they sample tea, they talk about it, it becomes a product. Now, if somebody is coming to Nairobi, they ask you, what can I do in the next 4 hours in Nairobi? You tell him, okay, fine, you've gone to Karen Blixen, you've done this, go to Limuru. It's just a 2-hour drive, you'll go sample how coffee is done or how tea is done, and you get back in the country. So we need to tap in what the young people already are doing by easily documenting the country, and using that product documented is what the mainstream operators are now making as a product to sell. Then that main product now lands into KTB brochure, and what she's selling that are called gems. Gems are basically hidden products that were not being used commercially by people. They've been discovered and they become relaxing places that people can go to, and now they're actually highlighted to the industry to use. So we have enough product to sell, and we are ready to actually receive people that are coming in. The sports part that the CS has spoken about. The sports part normally covers a lot of logistics when people get here. Now, when those sports are going on, we as the industry are now ready to now sell for them these excursion packages to allow them to explore our country better. And when I spoke to you earlier, I talked about trying to ensure, and this is a policy issue now to the minister, that our tariffs across the region are favorable, so that when these games are coming here, we have got more regional travelers coming across the board to watch the games here. Because Kenya has been known to be very hospitable. We are very friendly people. And that has made it very easy for people to actually travel to Kenya and enjoy the country.
June, he talks about the relevance of young voices in Kenya. Certainly, it's an undeniable fact that today, me and you are the lion's share of the country's population. don't worry.
And he accepts.
But you need to carry them along, is it, these young voices? And there must be a choreography of certain messaging. And then to now enumerate more gems in your brochures. But what will be your messaging first to them before the messaging to the outside world?
Right. Oh, first of all, don't kill my gray-haired folks, because we squeeze the dollars from them. But indeed, the young people are helping us unveil the hidden gems in our country. And our ministry, through the Cabinet Secretary, we have a youth agenda as a standalone undertaking, and we work with them to tell their story. You would notice that most of them running teasers online to just ask each other, hapa ni wapi? And we've decided to tap into that messaging and allow Kenyans to show us the best of their home, the best of their country. If you notice, some of the campaigns that we run are actually driven by the young people, either through TikTok, basically their social media platforms, and most importantly, allowing them to then identify those hidden gems within our platform. So if you go to magicalkenya.com, you'll be able to see those hidden gems that we market as Kenya Tourism Board, but the fulfillment is done through the travel trade, and the young people are able to pick up that. In the next couple of days, you'll be seeing us unveiling our campaigns and really relying on the young people to tell the story of Kenya and the beauty of this country.
And in telling our story, ideally should be all persons' responsibility, is it?
Absolutely.
Including the sector players. And
but before we tell the story, I'm very proud to say June Chepkemei here is one of the youngest female CEOs in the country. And therefore, I'm very proud that tourism has embraced talent at very early age, and she's doing a wonderful job. And this is testament that we really want to resonate with the youth, help them bring out their best, grow their careers. And this is something that I didn't want to let go.
Yes, please. Yes, Mike.
The CS is tempting me to say that I was once the youngest general manager in the country in my youth. Yeah, we definitely have to tell our story. And even before we leave this, Bomas is an absolute game changer. Yeah. Absolute game changer. Yes. I don't think we should miss that point. In fact, industry should be out there cheering on the contractors, because what is going to happen is that you're going to create this capacity that will now have a ripple effect. You'll start seeing growth around that area. And when you look at what the government is doing, and I don't speak for government, but if you're matching your development with infrastructure, then you're winning in tourism. And I'll give you an example. We have this Bomas project going on, which is a great project. People are saying it's going to kill KICC. It will not. It will actually complement KICC.
It complements it. It doesn't kill it.
Look at what happened just was it last Friday? Last Friday morning, the President launched the Rironi Mau Summit Road and Rironi Maimahio. Kamandora Maimahio Road and Mau Summit. Where is that road in relation to Bomas of Kenya? Yeah, it's just a bypass away. So what does that mean? It means that if you're an investor thinking investments, you'd start building hotels along that highway. So you don't have to come and squeeze yourself out in the city. You'll start building along that highway, knowing that in a few years, we'll be having about 10,000 to 20,000 people congregating in Bomas, and they can all stay there.
In Naivasha.
Yeah, very quickly.
Yeah, very quickly.
Yeah. You have the SGR, which is matching that investment. And this is just one example. So we have to look at what government is doing, and probably government should speak more about what it's doing and matching development that will create impact. Today somebody was saying that you have to direct your effort where it will make the greatest impact on transformation. And this is what's happening. Talking about sports, CHAN was taking place. On the sidelines of CHAN, and nobody noticed, there was an inter-schools competition in Kakamega that brought in about 3,000 students from around the region. The students came with their teachers, they came with their coaches, they came with their drivers, they came with everybody. And this is Kakamega. And why did they pick on Kakamega? Simply because Buhungu Stadium is export ready. You can host any kind of tournament there. It's small in capacity, but it can host this. So if you're looking at places like Kasarani, 60,000, your favorite team, Arsenal, the Emirates, before they built this new stadium, the Emirates had a capacity of just about 30,000. So from 1987, Moi Sports Complex in Kasarani was bigger than the Emirates, and so was Nyayo. So we've got these products here that can help us push our story and push our agenda. And I think we don't say enough. We should be saying enough. So you meant Highbury before we moved to Emirates in North London. It's a small stadium. Where Arsenal won the last Premier League and will win the first, God willing, at the Emirates. So Talanta, sports we talked about, ladies and gentlemen. So when we get back, we'll run through plenty of other areas, including also park fees, accessibility for Kenyans. There's currently objection towards some of the proposals. You will tell us more about that, and also the questions that we'll be taking from our viewers here who are watching this broadcast here on the bench this evening, which talks tourism ahead of Jamhuri Day celebrations. And we are back with the last part here with Waziri and the three colleagues after the break. Stay tuned.
Naivas, you're my feels. Where every offer feels so real. just lighten up your day. Shop the Kikwetu every day.
Welcome Naivas Kikwetu to your home this year. Tunasherekea customers wetu Kikwetu kila siku.
They call us wild. We call it creative instinct. We are the ones who dream in pixels, speak in hashtags, and turn briefs into battles. We are the wild ones, the rule breakers, risk takers, and idea makers driving East Africa's creative future. Join us at the DMA Awards Festival on Thursday, 11th December at Tamarind Tree, Langata Road for a full day of masterclasses and a night that celebrates the boldest creative work in East Africa. Get your tickets today at digitalmediaawards.africa. The Digital Media Awards 2025 is proudly sponsored by Citizen Digital in conjunction with Go Gaga Experiential and the DMAs.
It's big, bigger than you can imagine. It's massive. It's the biggest jackpot. Shabiki Super Jackpot Sahini 100 million. Yes, predict 17 games na 99 bob na ujishikie 100 million. Bonuses ni from 13th correct prediction. Na ukipata zote wrong, usiwori, bado kuna bonus. Hii ndio jackpot. Shabiki Super Jackpot is now at 100 million. To play, download app ya Shabiki on Play Store or SMS SJP to 29063.
Gaming is addictive. Play responsibly. Not for persons under the age of 18. Shabiki.com is authorized and regulated by BCLB. License number BK 0001080.
Uliona vile tuliwaosha.
Wewe Goliathi.
DCP haikuwa na candidate mbele.
There is a lot of housekeeping that needs to happen.
How do you then deal with this?
UDA did not win in Malava.
What are we doing? What is this?
Wakiendelea na hii, tutawazamisha asubuhi na mapema.
This is bigger than two term versus one term.
Hapa Kakamega, unahitaji Khalwale ndio ufaulu. Alafu unakuja hapa, unajaribu kuuliza maswali. Sasa wewe ndio utauliza ama wananchi watauliza?
All is not lost. The future is bright.
Nje huko wanakaa Tanzania ifanye moja, ifanye mbili, ifanye tatu, halafu ndio itakuwa hivi. Who are you?
The leadership remains reactive, never proactive.
News Gang every Thursday at 9 p.m. Don't miss it.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. The bench is discussing tourism ahead of the Mashujaa Day celebrations at the Uhuru Gardens in Nairobi, the 2025. Themed around tourism, we have talked about the numbers, the projections and the targets set by the ministry, the policy-making decisions. Let's now discuss accessibility into then one of our scenery centers across the country. This Fred, on you on this. The park fees led to a lot of concerns, especially from Kenyans who go there over the weekend and during their leisure times.
Okay.
We understand that, of course, that has been petitioned against.
Okay.
But also in terms of the breakdown, give us a clarity of how then what they pay for is accountable in a way that it contributes back to the industry, but the benefits we talked about.
The issue of park fees, we are talking about cabrias, right? To the industry is not an issue. The industry as a whole has no issue with the park fees.
Yeah.
And our understanding is that when KWS came to review the park fees, we were informed the reason why it was being reviewed. Yeah. It had not been done for 18 years. Mm-hmm. And personally, I actually chaired the first meeting with the DG and his team to agree on the framework, which we did public participation until the end. So as an industry, we do not have a single complaint about the rates that were actually published and gazetted. We are aware of what they are, and we support them because we support all the work that they do. We know that they need to raise money to actually do conservation work and manage our water towers. You know, people always look at KWS, they think they only do wildlife. They do two major things in our country. One, wildlife. Two, they manage our forests, our water towers. most of the places that KWS are running are what the best forests for the country, and those are water towers. They're very important. And so at that point, there is no issue. Our contention that came in was our discussion about when do you start the new rates? And this is based on not what we want, what the international agreements we've signed are looking at. And that was canvassed. Our CS has the information, yes. KWS has the information, and for this discussion, I would like to leave at that point.
Yeah, and Waziri, to build upon that, have Kenyans in such situations been carried along in terms of that accountability on your part and transparency, since we live in a setup where we have a questioning population about everything who want to know, and it's based on transparency?
Yes. When it came to the review of park fees, there had been an attempt for many years. And specifically over the last 1 year or so, it was nullified by the courts because it had gone to court at that time, and issues of public participation. So as government, we decided to redo the whole process. And we did public participation, all the legislative and legal processes successfully. We must commend the private sector for the partnership and the participation. Because for 18 years, park fees had not been increased, despite the cost of conservation going up, the cost of living going up, the cost of fuel, despite the fact that these parks are really our heritage, and we are the custodians of what is contributing to tourism up to 70%. So this time round, the process was actually undertaken to the letter, and I am glad Chairman KTF has confirmed that the private sector really embraced the need to have the review of the park fees, and that we have achieved successfully. The other matters that are coming in could be sub judice, but that is under consideration. But that is one of the biggest achievements that this administration has, having successfully been able to match the product and the cost by increasing transparently the park fees.
Yeah, and here I need your input, June, because we have seen videos, especially from the Mara, where a convoy nearly interrupts the natural setting of the animals that we had talked about, the lions and the buffaloes. Ideally, how should this then be addressed, given that also there is the opportunity for photography and taking account of what they see, which is encouraged, but should there be boundary, in your view, even as you project the country's image?
Yes, so from the marketing point of view, and before I could even answer that, because I'm government, and we talk about parks, it's owned by government, maybe I would ask the chairman to actually speak on the authenticity of the images and the content we see online, whether does it really reflect what is happening on the ground? Do we really have those obstructions? Do we have that kind of challenges between human and wildlife that is being projected? Because we are the government, but what is the industry consuming? Is that the position, Chairman?
By and large, it's very difficult to authenticate what you see on the social media. Most of it is, like right now, there are a lot of nonsense going on with AI, people showing that animals are attacking human beings and all that. That is all bullshit. The next thing that we're looking at is that we have a problem of old videos being churned over and over again. Mara has done a lot of work. They've sealed off the places that allows you to do this tramping into wildlife. They've got rangers in that place controlling it. Same thing to Amboseli. They've got very good rangers. Nakuru, the same thing. So our parks are properly managed. We can have a lapse here and there. But the biggest challenge you're dealing with that people pick, a number of times people pick even a video from Tanzania. A problem is happening in Tanzania, and tomorrow that video is being marketed as a Kenyan video. I have a big challenge with people normally asking you, can you authenticate what you're telling us? This is not even Kenya. Why do you want to own every problem that you see on social media? So, as far as we are concerned as the industry, our parks, by and large, don't have challenges of overcrowding. they are managed, and people are penalized whenever these problems occur. But we have a problem in Kenya whereby we own every bad news. In social media, in political spaces, wherever you are, you want that bad news to be you. Another problem we have is people want to break news that they don't know. You want to be the first person to forward it to somebody and own it like you are there when it's happening. Well, you're not there. When we have actual challenges, and this is the best thing about partnering with the government and the county governments, we have direct access to all the parks wardens, and everybody who runs those spaces. Every time there's a challenge, we talk to them directly. And we try as an industry, we don't go back whining to someone. We correct the problem on the spot. When there's a problem at the park, on the road, we try to ensure that we correct the problem on the spot. If you look at the National Police, we even have a section for tourism police. So even on the highways, when you have a problem on the highways, we know who to talk to, who to ask. We don't run to the CS because that's not our docket. This is now transport police. And we've been given actually a tourism police department, which is helping us to get this thing done. The only challenge we have is separating between social media banter and the actual activities happening in our parks, in our cities, in our recreation centers, which Mike talked about earlier on. We need to go back to the process of educating people on how to report on tourism issues. Because we're spending so much time explaining things that don't actually concern us. Yeah. When you put a negative information about a country, you are basically messing up with the forward bookings. Because now instead of somebody booking the destination, they're spending so much time asking questions. Are you safe? Is your country? You people are trampling on wildlife. It's a waste of our time.
Okay. So ideally then, do we have cases in such circumstances other than the ones that you have qualified as misinformation and a campaign?
We do have one or two cases that normally occur, and as I've told you that we have direct access to these parks, the wardens and everybody else, and we normally get people reprimanded. If there's something that has gone wrong, we'll identify. Remember, tour vehicles are branded, we know the owners, so you can pick a tour vehicle and say, this tour car was here at this particular time, this is a problem that occurred, they'll be dealt with. Remember, we are now having a very robust TRA system. Now, TRA, as the regulator in the industry, has taken their role very well. Thank you, Madam CS. They were given vehicles the other day, a couple of vehicles, to do oversight. And they're all over the place. Why are they all over the place? Because the industry had requested them to actually do their policing work, try to ensure that the parks are managed properly. Okay. Right now, we're going through licensing. We are ensuring that everybody who is going to those parks is licensed. Now, if we can achieve the fact that we can get everybody licensed, then you know who they are.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, June, you can proceed now.
Yes, so the challenge that we're having in marketing and positioning the country is actually misinformation. But we have isolated cases that really taint the image of the country, but we must confirm that indeed the setup that we have within the county governments that own parks, for example, the Mara and now Amboseli, enables us to ensure that we seed the right information, and then we are also able to authenticate what is not factual. So in terms of marketing and positioning the country, Kenyans should be proud of the heritage and the conservation efforts that we've put in place to really manage the 70% revenue earner in the tourism, which is wildlife. And therefore, it is imperative on each and every one of us to own this country with pride and tell the factual story. There is no win in pushing negativity about your country, because everybody has where they belong, and we must be proud of where we belong. So as a marketer, we do not shy away from pointing out where the gaps are, but at the same time, we are keen to celebrate the beauty of this great nation.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Mike, before I come to you still on Fred and Madam Waziri, talking about the wildlife and the corridor is very important. Their movements, of course, notwithstanding, shouldn't be inhibited. Yeah. Yeah. There was also, the public is raising concerns because it's a forum to also enlighten them. The Ritz-Carlton matter, which the migration of the wildebeest was affected in the video circles that were shared widely, which were proven to have been very authentic. What are your responses to this in terms of the due diligence and whether this was followed?
Again, that's not a marketing matter. Maybe Macharia.
Maybe I can help on that. You know, first of all, on the issue of Mara itself, maybe you might want to visit yourself, or even send a team unannounced and see for yourself, because we've been there. We've seen the work that has been done. We are not always in agreement with the Narok County government. At times we disagree, but where they've done a good job, we highlight it, and they've now demarcated roads. They've given areas where you cannot drive off-road. They have wardens, and the experience is far much better than it was before. The problem is that we can take an old clip and recirculate it on social media as a new clip until somebody goes and tries to authenticate. Now, on the issue of the Ritz-Carlton, this has been debated a lot on social media, and everybody is up in arms. There's a Ritz-Carlton that has come to mess up the wildlife corridors. What I would say is that, first of all, people should familiarize themselves with the Mara management plan.
Correct.
We were part of the formulation of the management plan, and that plan speaks to certain key areas of wildlife conservation and management. And one of the key areas is, how do you deal with traffic in the park, which is what we've been talking about. The other key area is mapping out of sites to develop, camps and lodges. In fact, there has not been any lodge development probably since Kikorok and Serena on the Old Kiombo side. The rest of them are high-end camps. Now, with that management plan, if you're going to engage in an investment, you go, the county identifies a site for you, and they tell you this is the best place for you to build because of ABCD. Maybe it's not near the river, and so on and so forth, and it's further from other properties. The other thing that you must do is you must do an environmental impact assessment, an EIA. And once you apply for an EIA, what the custodians of the EIA, who are NEMA, the National Environmental Management Authority, they publish it on the Gazette for comments and input from the public. And that happens. So you go, you input. So based on the general input and the Mara management plan, then you as an investor are advised, if you're going to build, this is the maximum size of your investment, and this is the maximum number of people that you can have there. Now, with the Ritz-Carlton, did all this happen? Yes, it did. Did NEMA call for an EIA participation? They did. Did people input into it? They did. The building went up. It's finished. It's set to open. An iconic product in the Mara. We don't even have many Ritz-Carltons in Africa.
Yeah, I think the only two.
I think there's the only two. This is the second. Now, you don't understand where all this noise is coming from. If I had somebody saying it's gone against the Mara management plan, or it's gone against the EIA, then there would be a solid case. But when you just go and start speaking about migration routes, there's absolutely no way NEMA will allow you to put up something along the migration corridor. And the Mara management plan doesn't. And KWS will not accept. And even us as stakeholders, we will not accept. So there's a lot that is going on there where people don't really understand. And I think what I would recommend is that anyone who has an interest in that property, read the management plan and read the EIA.
Before you go to Waziri, yes, Fred.
I would like to add into what Mike has said about this property in the Mara. Any person who has a genuine complaint about the property, Mara is managed by Narok County government. The management plan Mike has mentioned is in the hands of the governor, Narok County government. If anybody has a genuine complaint, they must direct that complaint to the governor, Narok County. That is his land. And the management plan is on somewhere on the social media. If you look at the website, you'll find it. They need to pick that document and poke the holes on it and tell us where they went wrong. Anything outside that, I'll treat it as normal common noise that we make.
Okay. Waziri, let me come to you.
Yes.
This is on the recent election to the United Nations Tourism Executive Council, marking a major milestone in global achievement by the country. How is this, as we go to this week themed around tourism, is it going to contribute significantly to our tourism growth?
Thank you very much. The UN tourism is the UN wing that takes care of our sector, and it is quite significant. It looks at sustainability, it looks at global trends, and sets the standards, the norms, the rules, modern trends, and therefore it is a very significant body and a governance body. Now Kenya has been elected into the Executive Council. We have a seat, and this was just an election, which was even secret ballot, and I was very excited to see Kenya getting some of the highest votes, which shows that Kenya has been validated to offer leadership at the highest level of the governance of the world. And this gives us an opportunity to contribute to the sustainability and into the future and the policies of the tourism. And we must celebrate that as a country. A couple of weeks ago, we attended the UN Tourism General Assembly, and that's where the elections were then validated, and we will be serving in the Executive Council up to 2029. We want to show leadership that Kenya is at the decision-making table, setting policies not only for Kenya, but also for Africa. Sitting there at the Executive Council is also a great opportunity for Kenya to uptake the best global practice. We will be able to firsthand see what is happening in other destinations. There will be lessons learned. We will be able to see technology that is coming up, priorities for the world, capacity building, and therefore it is just a great opportunity for us to serve at that highest level. And we are very, very proud that among the few African countries that were elected to sit in the Executive Council, Kenya has a seat, and we will play a significant role in the partnership, the robust partnership that we have with the private sector, the county governments. We will be taking a common position not only for the country, but for the region and for the continent and globally. And we are really upbeat about this position that we are holding.
Yes. You wanted to comment?
Yes, just beyond just the UN tourism, it's important to mention that Kenya Tourism Board was voted as the best tourism board in Africa in London about 3 weeks ago during the World Tourism Marketplace. Masai Mara was also voted the best safari destination in the continent of Africa, and Nairobi was also voted the best MICE destination. So everybody out there is celebrating us. We are doing a good job, and we call upon Kenyans to also appreciate their own country and celebrate the gains that we are making as a nation.
And now that we are talking about accolades, a few weeks ago, there was a researcher who talked to American families about their favorite destinations, Kenya ranked 17th globally and the only African country in the top 20, which is quite an achievement for Kenya. Yeah. Before that, you remember, Kenya was voted as the friendliest country in the world. This week, I have seen a vote that says Kenya is among the most generous nations in the world, and many, many more. Yeah. And when we went to the World Trade Market in early November, and we had a big Kenya stand, and we talked to many people in the world, there was a particular person who came to our stand, and they talked about the hospitality of the people of Kenya. And to use the exact word, the exact words is that Kenya offers what any human being would ever want. You know, that warmth, that hospitality, that respect. The smiles we see with Kenyans are not taken for granted. The world is able to notice even the smiles that we give. Yeah. And therefore, kudos to Kenyans. And a point that was raised by our CEO, for the social media users and those who check, there are recent trends where the young people have come in strongly to showcase Kenya. Yeah. I have seen, even myself as the Minister for Tourism, representing government, I have seen places that probably were not even in our radar being showcased. And we must congratulate and uphold what is happening in this country, which is free marketing, and we are going places. On
the part of the young Kenyans.
Yes.
Okay, let's sample the feedback and see what the very same Kenyans you talked about are saying.
I hope they're smiling.
Engineer Lazaro says East Africa should adopt common policies tourism sector and review park entry fees to resonate with the local economy. And I think it's a point that you talked about, integration. Yeah. Is that happening from stakeholder perspective?
Yeah. East Africa, yes, that's happening. Yeah. We went to the extent of actually having a single visa, which is still in place. It's actually a good thing that you are able to actually sample the countries as one product.
Yeah. We also did joint marketing for about 4 years.
For 4 years
running before COVID hit.
Yeah.
And we also had a product audit for the 3 countries that were participating: Kenya, Uganda, and Rwanda.
And Rwanda, yes.
And the movement by ID. Great game changer. Yeah. Numbers in Diani went up. Yeah. Simply because of that, people from Rwanda and Uganda visiting Diani, and Kenyans visiting Uganda and Rwanda.
Okay. Next is from Justin, who says, I appreciate the panelists. Kudos. How about security of tourists? I'm a stakeholder based in Kilifi County. Anyone can take? Yes, Waziri?
As I mentioned earlier on, that tourism has actually looked at all the aspects. One of the aspects that has been looked into is having a special unit of tourism police. So we have that in place. Now, the next thing that we should be looking into, there are some pockets or corridors that have these long distance roads that we normally have a challenge where somebody throws a stone at a car, a tourist vehicle, and we've talked to the regional commanders to help us manage those things. So it's something that we are discussing at very high levels.
The Tourism Act, before Waziri speaks, actually sets up a tourism protection service.
Correct. Yes.
Under the Ministry of Tourism. But over the years, we found that it's easier to work with the police instead of forming a new service, because we already have a tourism police unit. So we find it easier to work with an existing force, that has an infrastructure to take care of these problems.
Yes, it is true. The tourism police unit has come in very handy. It has been strengthened with the right number of officers, the resources required, like vehicles. And as a ministry, through the Tourism Fund, the government has actually undertaken capacity building, where we are equipping the officers in the police unit with hospitality courses, customer service, and that is value addition. At the county level, we have seen counties also form their units. On World Tourism Day on 27th of September, we witnessed Mombasa County unveiling their unit to complement what national government is doing. And there I must say that splendid work is being done, and it's a priority to ensure that there is security for everyone, including tourists.
Next is from Lavender, watching from Kisumu County. It says safety, especially for women working in tourism, is still a big concern, considering we're in the 16 days of activism. What steps is the ministry taking to support industry-wide framework? And then question number 2, prevent GBV, GBV and ensure safer workplaces. Anyone can respond.
We are signing, I think this is very timely. On Friday, we are signing a memorandum of understanding between the union, the union that we partner with, Kudeiha, and an association that falls under KTF, the Kenya Association of Women in Tourism. We are actually signing a memorandum on gender-based violence and femicide and how to treat it at the workplace. And hopefully we can cascade that into the security setup so that people can feel safe when they're leaving their workplaces and going home, and generally within their areas of habitation.
Yeah, we've also participated through the Tourism Regulatory Authority as government in finding solution to gender-based violence, especially in facilities such as Airbnb and all that. So this is a national conversation that is being undertaken at a higher level.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. And the regulations are actually ready, public participation, everything is done. In the next couple weeks, we will be gazetting some regulations that will be able to address some of these concerns.
Yeah. Next is from Sir Nixon, says, Jambo Waziri Rebecca, why does it appear like upgrading all tourism park roads to bitumen standards is not a priority, yet it can greatly help handle traffic of all vehicles as well as reliable management of weather fluctuations?
I want to confirm that it is actually a priority, upgrading all the tourism parks roads to bitumen standards and motorable conditions. And the government, through the Ministry of Roads, some of the resources are actually allocated for the roads in the parks. And every year we are able to tender, and we will soon be doing that so that we are able to upgrade the roads. It's absolutely a priority.
And the final one is from Billy. It says, Bomas is a game changer so long as it's run properly. Let's avoid corruption and nepotism. Building don't or does serve guests. Well-trained, motivated staff do. Don't bulldoze unprofessional management teams cause they are politically correct, which is basically a caution.
It's a good caution, but we've test run this with KICC for so many years. So I mean, there's so many lessons learned from KICC.
And we are coming up with a convention bureau that will be able to streamline the whole of the conferencing. The government is doing a lot.
So final word, start with you, Mike.
I have two. First of all, to thank CS Rebecca for sitting on this panel. The chairman here will bear me witness. We've never sat at a panel with any CS. It's either the CS or ourselves on our own. Yeah. So we thank you for that humility, and keep it up. The second one is for Kenyans. Please remember, Jamhuri Week is coming up. We are doing a lot from Monday. Visit KICC. Particularly for our members, we call on you to go and exhibit and visit and speak to this domestic market that we have, and also have an opportunity to address the external market.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mine is just to celebrate the role that tourism plays in the socio-economic development of this country. As a great employer, we can create more opportunities if we tembea Kenya, spend in this country, continue being hospitable, and continue serving every Kenyan, every visitor with a smile, so that we continue celebrating the beautiful smiles of Kenyans.
Yeah. Fred?
I would like to urge all Kenyans to come out in their large numbers to KICC. The fact that the government has identified tourism to be celebrated in this season, it should not be left to outsiders. It should be actually be done by the sector. So I'm appealing to the sector to actually come and join the CS and the team and June, which is part of the government, so that the private sector can actually challenge and talk to policymakers directly. Madam CS, we request you to avail yourself to the industry, just like you've done today. We thank you for making a milestone for the first time to see to the industry. I know they tell you that we are scary people. We are not. You've confirmed that we are very normal Kenyans, and we are business people. Every time we talk to you about issues that affect the industry, we are protecting business. The business that we protect runs the country. Okay. So avail yourself within this window so that our members can actually reach out to you and share with you their thoughts, their feelings, the things they want done. Just the same way you are seeing that people are coming onto the platform to address you directly. Yeah. I believe they'll come to address you much better in the panels that we're going to have. I would like to let members know that there'll be panel discussions that are very important, and they allows you to actually understand policy from government. Also be available when the policy pronouncements are being made so that you know where your country is heading. I thank you very much for this platform, and Waziri for the chance. Madam June for steering this, that we can actually sit with Waziri together. I thank you.
Yes, Madam Waziri.
I want to confirm availability as requested by our chairman, but by closing, allow me to recognize that all the progress we have discussed tonight, tourism being strong and on an upward trajectory, we have to recognize the visionary leadership by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto. For him, tourism has been a priority. It has been deliberate, and we all know he has been our tourism ambassador. We say tourism ambassador 001. I can confirm that the support he has given in terms of policy, in terms of guidance, in terms of encouraging us to work with the private sector, and him challenging us to bring out our best, giving us targets, I think that we must acknowledge and say that we really appreciate that support. These things that are happening are not by chance. It is that deliberate support. And again, the robust relationship we are having with the private sector, we want to nurture it. We believe in collaboration with the private sector, with the county governments, with our people, with all the Kenyans, with our visitors. And just to say that for Jamhuri Day, from the Jamhuri Week from the 8th, we want to welcome everyone. We want to welcome our dear Kenyans to come and see what we have been able to put together, and even the tourists who are currently in the country to come and fuse celebration of sovereignty with celebration of our heritage, our culture, and our tourism products. And we really want to say that the best is yet to come, and we look forward to working together with everyone to position Kenya as one of the countries with the highest appeal when it comes to tourism in the world.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Much appreciated. Madam Waziri, many thanks. Fred, asante. June, many thanks. Mike, asante sana.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah. And June said, in a light note, that she's in the business of squeezing money out of white-haired men.
She's in the business of selling happiness.
Thank you. Yeah. And thank you to you too. Then if you're an Arsenal fan, they are 1-0 up against Brentford at the Emirates, courtesy of Mikel Merino. And I'm sure a generation has watched the likes of Jens Lehmann, Lauren Etamemaya, Ashley Cole, Saul Campbell and Kolo Toure, plus Frederick Ljungberg, Gilberto Silva, Dennis Beckham, Thierry Henry, Robert Pires. That is the last team that won the 2003-4 Invincibles at Highbury. So the current squad under Mikel Arteta may deliver the first title in more than 20 years at the Emirates for the first time in the history of the club. We say, yeah, Gunners here. This message, though, is directed at Linus Kaikai, Jamila Mohammed, Isaac Swila, Crispin Otieno, Franklin Wala, and I. Good night and God bless our great country. We'll see you tomorrow morning on Daybreak.